Hey everyone, and welcome to today's Explainer. If you've been paying any attention to the tech landscape lately, you know it's just been an absolute frenzy. But today, we're actually looking at a fundamental turning point. Based on some massive developments that dropped on June 8, 2026, today's Explainer proves that the whole AI hype phase, that's officially over. The industrialization phase has well and truly begun. It's really no longer just a contest of who has the smartest chatbot. Now it's about the plumbing, the real estate, and the literal physical power that runs the world. All right, so here's our roadmap for today. We're going to look at Apple's new neutral toll booth strategy, how SpaceX is basically becoming the AI landlord of the world, what's happening with securing the power grid, and then we'll wrap things up with some quick hits from around the AI space. Let's dive in. Starting off with part 1, Apple's neutral AI toll booth. So, if you tuned into Tim Cook's final WWDC keynote before his big September transition, you saw that intense, almost emotional focus on Apple Intelligence. But here's the crazy part. The market actually slipped almost 2% right after. Kind of surprising, right? Well, it's easy to get distracted by the flashy headlines about Siri getting system-wide personal context or Safari automatically organizing your tabs, but we need to look closer. What was the actual structural game changer here? Check this out. While the media totally zeroed in on the rebuilt Siri on the left, the real story is sitting quietly over on the right, the extension system. Analyst Aaron Rose absolutely hit the nail on the head with this one. Apple is making a historic pivot. They've essentially admitted, look, we're not going to bleed cash trying to win this capital-intensive frontier model race from scratch. Instead, they're stepping back and building an orchestration layer. It's like they're building the master switchboard that just sits on top of everyone else's brains. And this is where it gets absolutely fascinating. Through this new extension system, which, by the way, is live right now in iOS 27 Beta 1, you can natively route your complex requests to third-party models. You want Claude? Bam, you got it. ChatGPT, Gemini, they are all just baked right in. The exact same company that practically invented the concept of the walled garden just turned the iPhone into an open router. They've transformed their flagship product into a commodity toolbooth for competing AI models. Overnight, they totally flipped the distribution mechanics of consumer AI. Talk about irony, right? The most dominant hardware gatekeeper of our entire era decided that hosting their competition is actually way more valuable than fighting them. They revealed this deep engineering collaboration to power their remote processing tier, and they're using Google's infrastructure to do it. Apple is literally paying Google an estimated $1 billion a year for this. Honestly, Tim Cook's most durable legacy might just be the day Apple stopped trying to build the frontier and decided to just own the toll booth leading to it instead. Okay, moving right along to part 2, SpaceX, the AI landlord. So Apple's got the consumer distribution locked down, but somebody still has to own the physical pipes. Get ready for this number, because the sheer scale of the math here is staggering, $920 million. According to a June 5th SEC filing, that is exactly what Google is paying Elon Musk's SpaceX every single month. They signed a massive cloud services deal to secure dedicated AI compute capacity. We're talking roughly 110,000 NVIDIA GPUs through June 2029, just to keep up with surging Gemini enterprise demand every month. But hold on, because there's no way that's the biggest deal, right? Actually, Anthropic stepped up and agreed to pay an unbelievable $1.25 billion per month. Seriously, $1.25 billion. And what exactly are they buying? They are leasing the entire operational output of xAI's Colossus 1 data center through May 2029. Remember, Colossus 1 was originally built so xAI could train its own proprietary Grok models, but now it has completely transformed into the primary compute engine for Anthropic's frontier systems. When you put these two deals side by side, this new power dynamic is just crystal clear. Between Google's bridge capacity and Anthropic's frontier compute, we are looking at over $26 billion in annualized compute revenue funneling straight into SpaceX's balance sheet. It's wild. Elon Musk built the largest private GPU cluster in existence, realized that model training costs were escalating completely out of control, and effectively just monetized his infrastructure by renting it out to his biggest architectural rivals. And this context is absolutely crucial as we head into the SpaceX IPO pricing on Thursday, June 11th. They're trading under the ticker SPCX, targeting a massive $1.75 to $2 trillion valuation at $135 a share. The irony is just off the charts. The very labs that are aggressively competing with Musk's Grok, Anthropic, and Google are essentially paying his company over $2 billion a month just to keep their models online. Musk is profiting off his rivals' compute bills. He's entering the public markets not as an underdog, but as the ultimate AI landlord. All right, Part 3, Securing the Power Grid. This brings us to a really critical realization. AI isn't just floating around in a data center or sitting on your smartphone anymore. It is actively moving into literal physical power grids. Let's look at Project Glasswing. This is an Anthropic-led consortium that is rapidly evolving from just being a defensive software cybersecurity group right into a physical infrastructure governance layer. We're seeing the whole scope of AI safety transition into operational technology. Basically, digital safety is now directly tied to keeping the physical lights on. And the huge development today is that Hitachi, the massive industrial conglomerate, just joined Project Glasswing. They are getting direct access to deploy the Claude Mythos preview model specifically to harden the digital defenses of Japan's energy sector. Why does this matter so much? Because it's Glasswing's first major expansion outside the US market, and it sets a massive G7 precedent for how countries are going to manage foreign cyber threat vectors using AI. If you zoom out, the macro-level insight here is just mind-blowing. Anthropic isn't just dealing with an IPO or leasing hardware, they are literally embedding their frontier models into the actual power grids of a Japanese industrial giant. In just 6 weeks, Project Glasswing quietly morphed from a cybersecurity alliance into the standard governance operating system for heavy industry AI. That is a staggering level of operational expansion. Finally, let's wrap up with Part 4, Quick Hits from the AI World. The board is moving at warp speed right now, and these upcoming deadlines show you exactly how this massive summer of corporate transitions is shaking out. Like we just talked about, June 11th is the massive SpaceX IPO pricing. Shortly after that, on June 27th, OpenAI officially finalizes the retirement of the GPT 4.5 model. And looking ahead to the fall, Anthropic and OpenAI are basically in a dead heat for their confidential S1 SEC reviews, with predictive markets slightly leaning toward Anthropic going public first. Now, if you look globally, the developer landscape is vastly different than what Western media usually portrays. Check out this split. Domestic Chinese open weights models like DeepSeek, Alibaba Qwen, and Z2 AI, they actually maintain a dominant 61% share of total global developer API traffic. 61%. It's a really stark reminder of the sheer scale of open weights adoption happening all over the world, operating almost entirely outside of those localized tech battles. Just to round out the global picture, we have a few fascinating structural updates. Radical Data Science put out an analysis showing that frontier labs might be eating up to $1,000 in compute costs for every $100 they generate in developer subscription revenue. So yeah, these interactions are still heavily subsidized. Elsewhere, the Pentagon confirmed they are neutrally testing OpenAI models inside secure classified networks. Oh, and Microsoft just formally rolled Anthropic's Claude Opus 4.8 right into its massive enterprise foundry catalog. Which leaves us right here. We've watched Apple stop trying to build the smartest brain so they can act as the ultimate toll booth instead. We've seen Elon Musk transform his infrastructure into a multi-billion-dollar monthly rental monopoly. And we've literally watched AI embed itself into the Japanese power grid. So I really want to leave you with this final, provocative thought to chew on. In the industrialized AI economy of 2026, who holds the real power? Is it the visionary labs building the AI brands, or is it the pragmatic landlords who actually own the distribution and the physical pipes? Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer. Keep analyzing the structures behind the headlines, and I'll see you next time.